I read more than 100 books in 2022. And on today's video, I'm going to give you the top 5 that I thought were most memorable. Number 5, How to Get Paid for What You Know by Graham Cochran. Graham is a guy I previously didn't know about before, stumbled into this as an audiobook, and was amazed how he, as a content creator, has figured out how to get his content to a whole bunch of people and all the systems he uses to do that. I like this so much that I also bought the Kindle version so I could go back and reference it because there's so many things in this that I realized were gems. Now, this is the reason why this book, I completely rebuilt my website this year and am launching a whole bunch of new ways of delivering content, all thanks to this guy. If you are a content creator or you want to be, this is a book worth checking out. Number 4, Do I Stay Christian by Brian McLaren. Brian is often a guy pegged kind of being a progressive, out there type of Christian. But this is a very balanced book. And you may think by the title, wow, this is just going to be, all the reasons why you shouldn't be a Christian. And that's the first part of the book. He literally goes through the best reasons why you shouldn't be. But then he follows it up with the best reasons why you should be a Christian, why you should have faith in Jesus. And I found that section incredibly compelling and actually very moving. So wherever you're at on that spectrum, whether you don't have any belief in God, you wouldn't call yourself a Christian, whether you're kind of in the middle and you're debating it, or if you're like going strong and just want to explore a little bit of that, this book is going to give you lots to think about. I really enjoyed it. Number 3, Hunting Magic Eels by Richard Beck. He may get the coolest title of all these 5. This is a book about what it really means to experience God. And Beck is an author I've read before, and like his other books, this one did not disappoint. And he talks about how we often want to boil down Christianity to being a good person or being moral. But when you reduce Christianity to that, what Beck argues, and I think it's so spot on, is that you realize at some point is you don't need God for that. You can be a good person without God. There's got to be something more to being a Christian. And Beck talks about the enchantment, experiencing the supernatural. And I think this is just a very moving book, especially in our culture right now and to what a lot of us are going through. If you want to experience God and just get beyond some of the things of you got to do this or don't do that, this is a great book to invite you back to experience the awe of Jesus. Number 2, Celebrities for Jesus by Caitlin Beatty. This is another new author for me. This is someone who writes within the Christian culture. She has worked at Christianity Today. She's worked for a Christian publisher. So she has seen a lot of behind the scenes. And she talks about some of the models that we're using and some of the difficulties of these models, some of the downsides of these models. And so again, this is not a bash on the church or bash on Christianity, but she does give a sober assessment of, hey, look, this is what we've gotten used to. This is what we're producing. Maybe we need to talk about it. Maybe we need to be aware of it. And I think every Christian would benefit from this. I think every church leader, especially if you work for a church, especially recommend this to you. It's worth reflecting on the current model we have and whether or not it can get better. I think she provides a lot to be optimistic for in the way that she writes this book. And finally, at number 1, out of more than 100, the single best book that I read that got me thinking this year is a book called Die with Zero by Bill Perkins. New author for me. Bill is an incredible communicator of ideas that you may not have heard before or may not initially make sense to you. Now, technically, this is a money book. I don't read a ton of money books. But really what I loved about this book is a philosophy of how to be present in the moment, how to decide what are those things that are most important to you now and build those into your life when it comes to finances and kids and experiences and all the things that you say, this is what's most important. I gave this book to my wife. She loved it as well. As we have talked about this numerous times this year, this prompted us, motivated us to take a trip to France. We were by far the youngest on our river cruise that we did. And we did it with 5 young kids at home. Things that you go, no, you can do that when you retire. And we realized most of the people with us were retired. But that's where this book is so brilliant, so profound. Wherever you're at in your journey of life, this is going to help you think deeply about what is most important to you and how do you get the most out of it. So there you go. Top 5 out of more than 100. Hopefully this list is helpful. You can see all my reviews if you want to go all 100 plus of them on jeremyjernigan.com. That's my website where you can find this and find lots of other videos and posts as well. And if this was helpful to you, I want to encourage you to like the video, hit subscribe. Love to have you follow along for more content about learning and Jesus and growing and all these kind of conversations. We'll see you again soon.